A door. Not his. Watch his hands. No pause. No glance down the hallway. No question. The key is out before he stops walking. Nobody is born that calm around other people's doors. It takes practice. 10 minutes from now, you'll know exactly what kind. He found it on a Tuesday. Most stories about temptation begin with wanting something. This one begins with helping someone, which is worth pausing on, because whatever you end up thinking of this man, and you will end up thinking something, he starts this story as exactly what he seems. Someone who stops, someone who kneels, someone who checks a dying stranger's coat for a name, because a person should have a name. An ordinary street. The man walking ahead of him collapsed mid-step, the way people fall when nothing catches them. He stopped. He knelt. He called for help. And while he searched the stranger's coat for a name, something small slid onto the pavement. A key. No tag, no address, nothing to say what it opened. The ambulance took the stranger away. No one took the key. He waited for a moment. Then he put it in his pocket. Temporarily. There are things we set down intending to return them. A borrowed book, a neighbor's ladder, a stranger's key. The intention is sincere. That's what makes it comfortable. That night, the key sat on his table like a question nobody had asked yet. He picked it up, turned it over, put it back down. A key with no lock is just a shape. He went to bed telling himself exactly that. He slept fine, by the way. That detail matters. The first night is when guilt shows up, if it's coming. His didn't come. There was nothing for it to attach to. He hadn't done anything. Yet. The next day, a locked door he had passed 100 times stopped him for the first time. He told himself he was curious about the door. Most people would have believed that. He did too. The key slid in like it had been cut for that lock. The door opened. He stood at the threshold and didn't go in. He closed it. He walked away. And his heart was pounding like he had done something. He hadn't. Not really. Remember that feeling. It doesn't stay. That night, the key was back on the table. The key was still the stranger's. He thought about returning it. Returning it where? To whom? The man had no name. The questions were reasonable. And reasonable questions make excellent permission slips. 2 weeks later, his own keys stayed behind on some counter he couldn't remember. Midnight. Locked out. Dark windows. No one to call. And in his pocket, the stranger's key. It opened his own building like it lived there. Necessity is a clean feeling. No argument, no debate. The door was locked, and then it wasn't. That night, he told himself the story twice. Locked out, midnight, no other way in. Both times, the story held. Good justifications are like good keys. They work so smoothly, you stop noticing how often you reach for them. The second use had an alternative. A room with something of his inside. A door that would be unlocked tomorrow. He could have waited. He thought about waiting for exactly one breath. The key was faster. In, out, locked behind him. Nothing missing. Nothing moved. Most of us have done something like that. And most of us were right. Nothing happened. The third use, he wouldn't have been able to tell you about a week later. A storage room. A small errand. Key out, key back, gone. He didn't look for another way in. It didn't occur to him that there was one. Keep that sentence. Not the key part, the occurring part. The whole story lives inside what stopped occurring to him. Here is where the story gets quiet. Not because nothing happens, because the thing that's happening doesn't make a sound. A door he had no reason to open, no errand, no necessity, no story to tell himself. The key was out before he stopped walking. Notice what's missing. The pause, the little argument, the looking around. The second time felt easier. The 10th felt like nothing at all. Habits rarely announce themselves. They just stop asking. And here's the strange part. He wasn't using the key more often that month. He was just done noticing when he did. One afternoon, a coat in a crowd almost reminded him of someone. The thought began. The thought did not finish. It never came back. At home, 2 sets of keys on the counter. His, and the one he still would have called, if anyone had asked. The stranger's. Nobody asked. He pocketed it the way you pocket a pen. And if you're waiting for the moment he decided all of this was okay, it already happened. You didn't see it. Neither did he. That's how these things work. By now, the key had a job. 3 doors, 3 corners of an ordinary life, an office floor after hours, where a forgotten folder sat behind a locked door. Key out, door open. He continues. A building where the posted hours said tomorrow morning. His evening said now. Key out, door open. He continues. A locked side entrance. Rain. 10 minutes saved. Key out, door open. He continues. None of these were emergencies. None of them were crimes. He'd have told you that, and he'd have been mostly right. They were shortcuts through a life that kept agreeing with him. That's the thing about doors that open easily. They agree with you. Each door had a reason. The reasons kept getting shorter. And then, a door. Not his. No pause. No glance down the hallway. You've seen this one before. It's where we came in. 10 minutes ago, you didn't know what you were looking at. Now you do. The scene didn't change. You did. One evening, walking toward a door still 10 steps away, his hand was already in his pocket. His eyes hadn't found the lock yet. His fingers had. The hand already knew. The body learns first. The mind gets the memo later, if it gets it at all. Dependence doesn't look dramatic. It looks like choosing the longer street. The route he walks now passes 3 doors the key can open. He'd tell you it's a nicer walk. He might even be right. That's what dependence does best. It hides inside preferences. Nobody reorganizes their life around a key. They just start liking certain streets. One morning, a door he couldn't open. Someone already there. Keys of their own. He waited. He checked the time twice in 90 seconds. Waiting felt wrong now. He noticed his own impatience, the way you notice a smell you can't place. Then the door opened, and the feeling went wherever unexamined feelings go. A year ago, waiting was just waiting. He couldn't have told you what changed. He didn't know anything had. And then, one ordinary afternoon, he walked down a street you've seen before. This exact sidewalk. The place where a stranger collapsed mid-step, and a good man knelt down beside him. He didn't slow down. Not out of coldness. Out of nothing. There was no thought there to interrupt. He never lost the key. He lost the stranger. You remember. He doesn't. That's the whole distance between minute 1 and now. Weeks later, or months, habits don't keep calendars. Something in a crowd almost surfaced. A coat, a face, a quality of light. He went still. His hand drifted to his pocket, touched the shape of the key through the fabric. And whatever had almost surfaced, didn't. He kept walking. If you asked him when it stopped feeling wrong, he couldn't point to a day. There wasn't one. There never is. The key never forced a single decision. It only removed the moments where deciding used to happen. And the justification was never a lie. That's what made it easy. So the question was never really about him. A stranger's key, a door that opens, nobody watching, what would you do? Be honest. You already know the first door you'd try.